What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? For those of you all who do not know, I am Dr. Aaron Dow, new faculty member here at Colgate in FMST and ALST. I'm excited to be here, excited for this really special Ryan Family Film Series event. Before we get started, get to the music and the conversation, it's a lot of people I want to thank who have made this event possible. So first I want to thank the Faculty Development Council, that's me and Helfont, the Ryan Family Film Series, specifically Dr. Lakshmi Luthra, Africana Latin American Studies, Dr. Kezia Page is in the house, Film and Media Studies, University Studies, that's Chris Henke, Arts and Humanities, that's Lynn Schwarzer, the Colgate Arts Council, Seth Kaluzzi, the Harlem Renaissance Center, Dean Spencer, where you at? There you are, what's up, brother? The Office of Undergraduate Studies, Mark Stern, Geography, History, and Educational Studies. I also want to give a special shout out to the folks who are making this happen in IT and tech. That is Zach Collins right here to my left, and Lincoln Zemer all the way in the back. That's a long list of names. I just hope it shows you all how excited people were for this event to bring DJ Wally Sparks to y'all to be in conversation and fellowship and community with y'all. A little bit of advertisement. So there's another Ryan Family Film Series event on March 6th. It is called Black Star Selects, and is a showcase from the Black Star Film Festival. It should be a really, really exciting event. Hope you all can turn out for that event as well. And then Alternative Cinema, they are having works by the artist, I hope I'm pronouncing this correctly, Lily. That is March 4th. So really excited about both events, some really, really amazing stuff. Now that we got that out of the way, I'm from the South. I'm repping for North Carolina. I got the Charlotte Hornets throwback, Baron Davis. This event is really, really important to me. I am very far from home. The snow is very alienating. I was talking to my wife who's in the audience right now, and what we have learned, because she's from the South too, is that we have been culturally taught to stay inside when the snow's out. It boggles my mind to see y'all running, to see y'all going to class, to see y'all just really functioning in all of this. So I really, really appreciate y'all coming out more than I can express here. And really coming out for a person who I consider a friend. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce this man. Give me 1 second so I can get his resume. So we have DJ Wally Sparks. He was the tour DJ for rapper, one of my favorite MCs, Big K.R.I.T, tour DJ, musical director, and A&R. With Big K.R.I.T, he toured over 20 countries, so all over the world. He has performed for the likes of CeeLo Green, Nelly. On Tuesday, he performed for MC Lyte. So he's doing big things, made time for Colgate. I think one of my favorite parts of his CV is that he DJ'd Lil Jon's birthday party in 2021. I've heard the Shot song. I grew up on Lil Jon. I wanted to be there. I wasn't there. Wally was there. More importantly, though, he is a real deal hip hop legend. Been DJing for almost 30 years, and really an Atlanta legend. If you've ever been to Atlanta, experienced Atlanta culture, Wally Sparks has really been integral to that music scene, that cultural scene. And most importantly, he's a friend. He did this for me as a favor. He came out to the cold. The first thing he said when I picked him up from the hotel is, "Bro, how y'all live here?" And I still am trying to figure that out. But without further ado, I want to introduce y'all to the legendary DJ Wally Sparks. So real, as Wally is getting settled, I want to sort of start by saying this is a conversation. I know how these things tend to go. We talk, I'll ask questions, he answers questions, but I'm really thinking about this as a family space. That's what Southern music is all about. It's all about community. So if you do have a question at any time, shoot your hand up, ask the question. You're all part of the family now, so please feel encouraged deeply to ask your question and be in conversation with us. Wally, I'm so glad to have you.
What's happening?
We're going to get to Southern music. We're going to get to your illustrious DJ career. We're going to get to sort of advice to future DJs, live DJs on this campus. The first question I want to ask you is how you just got into DJing.
The simple answer is I just love music, right? That's where it all begins. That's my pure foundation is I just love music, okay? But how that led me to DJing is I used to go to parties back in Tennessee. That's where I'm from. I'm originally from Chattanooga, Tennessee. I used to like to dance a lot. I was big into dancing, MC Hammer and all, Kid and Play, all that type shit. So I loved going to parties or dance because that's where all the new music was being played, and I wanted to hear the new music. But while I was there enjoying myself as a patron, I was always fascinated by the DJ. He was the most fascinating person in the room to me. You know what I mean? One, because he had the music. I wanted the music. And two, he was controlling the environment. You know what I mean? And that was a little intoxicating to me. I wanted to be the guy that did that. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to share my musical sensibilities with other people because I was like, if it makes me dance, I'm sure I'll be able to make you dance. You know what I mean? So that's kind of where my beginning as a DJ came from. That's, I just purely just love music and I wanted to be around it all the time.
Okay, so that starts like around when you were in college, or?
No. This is when I was probably middle school to all through high school. I didn't actually start DJing until I was in college.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, DJ.
But me being fascinated by DJ culture happened prior to. I just didn't realize what it was. I didn't realize what it was that I was really passionate about until I discovered DJing, and I was like, oh, this is the path for me to apply the things that are in my head that I'm trying to push out creatively. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay. Could you tell us maybe about, like, if you can remember that far back? I know you've done tons of parties, tons of events. If you could take us back to maybe the first time you spent a party, what that felt like, what kind of music you were playing, like what the vibes were.
So my first DJ gig, I didn't even realize it was a DJ gig, right?
Okay, tell us about it.
I was in middle school, had to be no more than 13 years old at the time. And I was involved with this program that the local YMCA had called the Young Black Achievers.
Okay.
And they would have these like ice cream socials and dances or whatever, something to keep kids busy on a Saturday afternoon. You know what I'm saying? So they had one, and at these events, they would just play like whatever compilation CD they had, you know what I'm saying, and just loop it over and over and over. And where I'm from, it's not a small town. It's sort of like this, where everything is real close. And my home was close by, and my mother was there with me. And I asked her, hey, can you take me home so I can go get my boombox and my tapes and my cassette tapes? That's dating me. I was playing actual cassette tapes back then. And she took me home and brought me back. And I just started playing music that I had, just stuff that I had collected at the time. And it completely changed the energy of the room. I was just playing songs that I knew that I liked, and I knew other people liked, and I knew that were being played on the radio. And it totally changed, shifted the mood and the energy in the room. And everybody started having fun. Everybody got way more engaged. Kids started dancing. And I didn't realize it at the time, but I was DJing. I just didn't know. I was just a kid doing something that I liked because I wanted to go play the music that I like. I wanted to hear it. You know what I mean? And I figured they wanted to hear it too.
Yeah, so this is before
way
controllers,
before.
This is before turntables.
It was literally just the boombox and cassette tapes. That was it.
Oh, that's cold. That's cold. No, I remember as a kid, right, like in high school, right? So I'm not the cassette era, I'm the burn CD era, right? And so where my sort of passion for music and really sort of burgeoning passion for DJ sort of started, is I would do these little basement parties with the homies, right? And we had the CD player, you had the 6 CD changer at the time or whatever. And I would literally map out, okay, I gotta go from CD1 to CD3. We gotta go back because I don't know why, we were still listening to Chingy back then.
Because it was jamming, that's why.
It was jamming. People try to clown you.
Don't front, it was jamming. We all danced to it.
Yeah, we did. But like I had to go back, and that's when but you're right, the energy changes in the room.
Yeah.
When was the first time, right? So you have that sort of foundational moment as a kid, like the energy changes, right? Obviously, sort of, you said in college, you actually started.
That's when I started. That's in college when I became a professional.
Okay. Who was there a person who exposed you to DJing? So also as a side story, the reason why I asked this question, Wally is like one of my DJ gurus. Like I can always go to him for advice. He can tell me, yo, Aaron, that's kind of whack. Yo, Aaron, that's dope, or whatever. So he really gives me the DJ game. So yeah, who was the Wally for you?
My OG was a guy named DJ Mix in Chattanooga. He's pretty much the foundation for anything DJ culture related in Chattanooga, Tennessee. I got to learn on his learning tree. I paid my dues like most DJs do. I carried his crates to the point where he then started to let me open for him, and then I went from opening, then me and him became peers, and then then we started working together and doing stuff together. But he's probably my primary OG. But I have others that helped me along the way, and other aspects of DJing not related to the turntables. Like I got one of my OGs, his name TJ Chapman. He ran a record pool called TJ's DJs. It was based in Tallahassee, Florida. He also he managed T-Pain briefly. He discovered T-Pain actually, wow. And he managed B.O.B. For a long time. But he's one of my OGs. And then on the other DJ side, there's a gentleman from Memphis, Tennessee named Devin Steele. That was one of my OGs that kind of took me under his wing. But my primary OG, who I probably got the most game from, who I learned the most from, was DJ Mix. And he taught me in a way that wasn't necessarily overbearing. He kind of taught me in a, just watch how I do things. And I just watched how he did things and emulated what he did. And he was the working DJ. He's still working now. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And exceptional DJ.
In Chattanooga still?
Yes, he's still in Chattanooga. Super duper cold on the cut, like phenomenal. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, he just showed me the way, and I picked up everything I could pick up from him. I picked up things that I got from other people, applied it to my life, things that I thought were going to be helpful for me as I moved along on my DJ journey. But those are the people that were very integral in my growth as a DJ.
Okay. No, and that's really helpful, right? And I guess for folks who don't know, when you say sort of carrying crates, like you were like carrying actual,
I would carry
like
crates of records.
manual labor.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I carried crates. I set his turntables up for him. I learned all that. Just you know what I mean. Like if he needed an errand ran, if he forgot a piece of vinyl that he needed for that night, I was the runner. I would go. I did all that stuff, and I did it happen with no ego, no nothing, because I just wanted to be around it. You know what I'm saying? And this was my way to learn. He was the man. He was the man that I aspired to be, and he was giving me access. You know what I mean? So I was a willing participant in doing all this stuff. You know what I mean? And to be honest, lessons that I learned from doing all of that grunt work, so to speak, are things that keep me grounded and keep me focused and keep me working. Mm-hmm. Even now, 28 years later. So.
No, I mean that's one. I guess one of the things I always sort of appreciate about hearing people talk about their craft in general is the sort of apprenticeship and education that happens outside the classroom. The idea that you were carrying crates, you're doing a service, right? If you ever carried a crate of vinyl, vinyl is stupid heavy, it's stupid cumbersome.
Dumb heavy.
Even turntables are really cumbersome, like setting up stuff wide, like it's just like really, really heavy. So that's like hard work, right? And you don't want to break stuff. And like, but I mean, so I always sort of like, I always admire that. And then like, I'm like, damn, well, only thing you asked me to do was send you my external. So I appreciate you.
Right.
Okay, so now you are sort of, let's say, apprenticing for and remind me of his name, DJ in Chattanooga, your big OG.
DJ Mix.
Yeah, DJ Mix.
M-I-X-X.
Yeah, DJ M-I-X-X, DJ Mix, right? Okay. So let's fast forward a bit, right? When did you realize that, like, oh shit, I'm cold at this. I can make this a career, right?
Oh,
I imagine those are probably two different points.
Yeah. So the latter point, when I realized that I could actually do this as a career, it's kind of funny how this happened. I was in college. I went to a small HBCU in Jackson, Tennessee, called Lane College for my freshman year of school. And then I ended up leaving and going back to my hometown and went to the State University, University of Tennessee, Chattanooga. And that's where I really, really started to pick up, right? And I had like a distinct advantage over most of the students there because I was native to that city. You know, that was my hometown. And I'd say probably 75 to 80% of the black student population at UTC at that time were from Memphis. And they didn't really venture out into the city. So I was kind of like a bridge between, you know, the local scene and the college scene. And I had 2 jobs when I came back my sophomore year in college. I was working and I had 2 jobs. I worked at Foot Locker and I worked at a music shop called Cats. So I had that advantage. I see everybody in the city because everybody buys sneakers, everybody buys music. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I see everybody all the time. And that was a way I was able to market myself because, you know, while he works at Foot Locker, he works at Cats or whatever. So I was making decent money as a young 19, 20-year-old or whatever. Wasn't paying no rent. I was staying at home. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm local. And then I started to pitch myself. I went into the University Center like one year when there was like a orientation or something when it was the beginning of the school year, and I went to she was a Delta. I can't even remember her name, but she was the person representing Delta at the time. And I said, hey, you know, I know y'all throw a lot of parties. I DJ. You know what I'm saying? My name is Wally. Can you give me a shot? And, you know, I pitched myself or whatever. She came back to me, decided she was going to give me an opportunity. And she asked me the question that sent me on the path that got me in this chair.
Okay.
She said, how much you want to get paid? And I said, what? What you mean get paid? She was like, how much you want to get paid to DJ? You going to pay me to DJ? Because at this point, remember, I told you I'd been doing all that work for free. I didn't give a shit. Yeah. I was happy. You know what I'm saying? I was in the middle of working, doing my passion, and I had even began to think about money. But she asked me, and I was like, you know, I said some arbitrary number like $125. I shorted myself crazy, which is another lesson that I learned later on in life. You get what you negotiate. Remember that. Yeah, man. She asked me how much I want to get paid. You know, I told her, and then that was literally my first paying gig that made me a professional DJ, and I've been rolling up since, man.
Okay, so you got your first professional gig. When did you realize? Like, I'm sure there was, with all things, some bumps in the road. You had good nights, bad nights, or whatever.
Oh yeah.
When was the moment you realized, like, I am good at this. Like this cannot just be something I do for the college sorority. This can be like, I am good enough to take this. Maybe you don't have the visions for going around the world, but I'm good enough that I can do this.
When I looked up and realized that I had full control of the room just from playing songs. Like I had gotten to a point And I don't even know when this was, but you know, just one of those days where I was just at a gig and I looked up and everybody was doing, they were behaving like I had them under a spell. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. They were looking at everything I was doing, every choice I made, every song choice I made to put on after the next. They just became more and more engaged. And I was like, wow, like I'm really, really, really in control. That must mean that they're really, really into what I'm doing. And if people are really into what I'm doing at that level, on a visceral level like that, then I must be doing something right.